Why does the Bible begin with a 2? Did you know that the first 5 books of the Bible have a hidden numerical structure? An introduction to the numerical structure of the Torah. From the rock-solid numerical structure of the Torah. Presented by Philip E. Stiefel. Avi Publications, avipublications.com. And YouTube channel Torah 123. Greetings. I am Philip E. Stiefel from Avi Publications at avipublications.com and YouTube channel Torah 123. Thank you for visiting our discussion on the introduction to the numerical structure of the Torah. While this currently may appear to be a relatively new approach in investigating the Torah, it is certainly not a new approach when it comes to composition. Structure is integral to almost every apparent phenomena. Perhaps what is most surprising to us is that the Torah could have a numerical structure embedded within. This discussion might be associated with an autumn walkabout through the wooded landscapes of the temporal regions of our planet. The leaves have become brilliantly alluring. They are beginning to depart from their perch and reveal the structure from which they were once so securely attached. With the progression of time, that structure shall become increasingly apparent until we begin to anxiously await the coming of spring to bring forth the renewed life of lovely green foliage. As with the trees, I am also in the fall of my life, and I have been privileged by my Father the Creator to gain some insight into the embedded numerical structure of the Torah. Please continue with me and let us enjoy together the marvelous creation of our Father and His world of Torah, including both structure and embellishments. Teaching timeless Torah truths that are innovative, informative, and imperative. Torah 123. Avi Publications. The numerical structure of the Torah. In other words, structure and foliage, numerals and letters, embedded and apparent, oh wow, the structure must have preceded the leaves. The hidden numerical structure of the Torah. The numerical structure of the Torah. 10 principles. Or 10 patterns of thought that weave the fabric of the Torah. One, the Creator is the foundation of everything. 2, division, separation, or 2 aspects of a matter. 3, an encounter with the Creator. 4, action on the part of God or man. 5, honor, creators, long life. 6. Mankind, or human nature. 7. Completion, cycle, or cycle of repeated events. 8. An exchange, good or bad. 9. A good matter, functioning according to the divine plan. 10. Command, covenant, or test of a covenant. Why 10 sections of 36 degrees? Perhaps because 36 equals 3 times 10 plus 6. 3. An encounter with the Creator. 10. A divine command. 6. Mankind, or human nature. There are 3 numerical facts involved in each of the 10 segments or sections of this graphic wheel. An encounter with the Creator equals 3. A command or word equals 10. Mankind equals 6. If the 3 facts, 3, 10, and 6, are summed, 3 plus 10 plus 6 equals 19. Their total is 19. 19, according to the numerical structure of the Torah, relates to principle 10, a command, word, covenant, oath, or test of a covenant, combined with principle number 9, a good matter, something functioning according to the divine plan. Come, experience the excitement of learning Torah and Hebrew from the numerical ordinal structure which is embedded within the Torah text. One Torah, 2 aspects. Linguistic, numeric. Aleph is the silent consonant A. It is the initial sound before adding the to it. Aleph is the numeral 1. Aleph is also the ordinal first. Our mission statement. This channel is committed to the disciplined research concerning our Father, the Creator, the Torah, His special text, and ourselves as men of understanding, solely from the Hebrew context of the Torah, which includes its embedded numerical structure. The goal of this effort is that the reader may personally experience the Creator's teachings in relation to the multiple contexts in which He presented them, and that we as seekers might be able to know Him as He desires to be known. A memorial dedication. This presentation is dedicated in loving memory of our beloved King David, who first penned and illustrated the concept of a maskil, a man of understanding, Tehillim, or Psalms 14:2. Tehillim 14:2. The Lord looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there are any who understand a maskil and seek God. a tribute to the scribes of Israel. The whole of the research related to this discussion of the numerical structure of the Torah would not be possible if it were not for the faithful scribes of Israel, who throughout the ages have preserved this unique text. If it were not for the spiritual and intellectual insight of the Masoretic scholars who preserved the oral aspect of the Torah, this type of investigation would be impossible. There may be times when the evidence may appear to challenge some of the opinions of the sages of Judaism. However, no disrespect is ever intended. A special word of thanks to the toolmakers. Without the capabilities of the Bible Scholar software, none of this research concerning the numerical structure of the Torah would have been within my grasp. Bible Scholar software can be viewed at this web address. All Hebrew consonant, syllable, and word searches. All punctuation and vowel pointing. All Hebrew to English translations and quotations. All of the above tasks were performed with the Bible Scholar software. Microsoft PowerPoint provided a creative platform to pictorially present the truths of the numerical structure of the Torah. Shalom again. My name is Philip Stiefel. Thank you for taking an interest in the Torah of our Father, the Creator. I shall guide you on a unique academic journey through the Torah. This is not a mystical journey. We shall use a hidden roadmap which is embedded in the Torah. The numerical structure of the Torah might be compared with the likeness of a deciduous tree, whose structure is hidden in the summer months when it is embellished with foliage. Read Torah and learn to appreciate our Father's Hebrew. The numerical structure is thoroughly embedded throughout the Torah. It should not be confused with the Hebrew study of gematria, nor with the study of biblical numerology. It is a matter of reading comprehension, as opposed to grammar, rote memorization, or numerical mysticism. Come, browse and enjoy our Father's Torah from his perspective. What is the Torah? The first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible: Bereshit, Shemot, Vayikra, Bamidbar, and Devarim. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. These books are the words of the Creator, not of inspired men. Divine authorship is not the generally accepted secular academic perspective on the matter of Torah. The numerical structure of the Torah may present a formidable challenge to the secular academic perspective. Not all engineers can drive a train. Hey, where is this train going? The Torah has many rejectors. Many Torah rejectors claim to be engineers. Where is their train taking you? Perhaps I will ruffle one's feathers. Don't take it personal. I am always ruffling my own feathers. We all need our feathers ruffled from time to time. Don't be a silly goose and waddle away in anger or arrogance. Let us all humble ourselves before our Creator and hearken to His instruction, Torah. Know your teacher. I began my walk with the Creator over 60 years ago. I'm not Jewish, Christian, or Muslim. The Torah is real to me. It is my life. My relationship with the Creator began as a father-son relationship. No one shall ever be urged in any fashion to convert to or affiliate with any religious group. My Hebrew language experience. I have limited formal study in classical and modern Hebrew. I have learned classical Hebrew from Ashkenazi and Sephardic perspectives. I have learned Hebrew through immersion in the written text. Comprehension comes before composition. The foundation of the Torah is oral. The Torah is first and foremost an oral instrument. The oral aspect of the Torah supersedes the graphic depictions of the consonants. The Torah is the primary source. All other texts are secondary sources. The Torah must be investigated solely from within itself. The Torah is a matter of heart to me. In the Torah, the heart is more closely linked to the intellect than to emotion. The Creator wished that the Israelites had a heart to keep His commands. I have resolved to meditate in the Torah day and night. Neither the Talmud, the New Testament, the Quran, nor any other man-made text should be the source of one's primary daily meditation. All thought must be subjected unapologetically to our Father's Torah. I am a retired teacher. Language is naturally birthed in a child's study of associations between sounds, objects, and actions. The numerical structure of the Torah can incorporate the benefits of childhood discovery into daily Torah study. Comprehension is the goal of reading, and understanding is the focus of a maskil. Comprehension skills require intense textual interaction. The numerical structure of the Torah is an intense reading comprehension skill. Scientifically speaking, science is largely a skill of observation. I have scientifically approached this matter of the numerical structure of the Torah. I am a pioneer in this marvelous adventure. At the present, I'm probably both the best and the worst in this field of study. The journey began with the Shema. The Shema is a unique numerical connection. God is one. Devarim 6:4. Hear, Shema, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. 1 is 13. The Hebrew word echad, one, has an ordinal numerical value of 13. Aleph is 1 plus chet, 8, plus dalet, 4, equals 13. God is one, and he is also connected with 13. This was my first numerical connection. 13 became the vehicle of discovery. Some 13 facts. The Creator is echad, one. The numerical value of echad is 13. The testimony of the covenant, meaning the 10 words or 10 commandments, is recorded twice in 13 vessels or verses. The whole of the Torah is summed up in 13 categories of reminders, which apply to the covenant man by means of the word remember. 13 from the Torah perspective. 13 equals 10 plus 3. 10, according to the numerical structure of the Torah, relates to a divine command. 3, according to the numerical structure of the Torah, relates to an encounter with the Creator. The minute grammatical particle that launched a marvelous journey of discovery. It looks like an English hyphen. It, in Hebrew, is a machaf that has a slightly different meaning. How do I define a word? Upon, al, is one word. Upon, face of, is also one word. A problem presents a dilemma. How do I count the Hebrew words properly? What is a compound word? A compound word is two or more words joined with one or more hyphens or makafim. The problem becomes a marvelous solution. Count the vessel's words twice. Now you're saying, what in the world is he talking about? Well, you can count the words and exclude the hyphens and get one count, and include the hyphens in what they do and get another count. So there are two countings in most vessels of the Torah, but not all. Meet the humble makaf. The first appearance of a makaf in the Torah is in the second vessel or verse. Now, I was raised around the water, so I use the word vessel, meaning a container such as a ship, which would transport. And we're going to learn a little more about that later on, but it may appear confusing to you, but right now I use the word vessel and verse interchangeably. The makaf resembles an English hyphen. There are over 11,000 of them in the Torah. Two words become one word. Here we have the word al, and then a makaf, and the word paneh, meaning upon face. An explosion of knowledge erupted from the inside of a compound word. An internal spark of ingenuity. The compound word is the mark or signature of the Creator. The compound message forms a hierarchical roadmap of the Creator's thoughts. The makaf can be both numerous and scarce. There are thousands of vessels or verses of knowledge which contain one or more makafim. There are over 1,000 vessels or verses of knowledge that do not contain a makaf. Why do I call him the humble makaf? Because he quietly appears over 11,000 times in the Torah, and no one seems to pay any particular attention as to why he is such a frequent guest. He literally makes breathtaking changes to the Torah text, and few notice his efforts. Shouldn't something that makes over 11,000 appearances attract one's attention? Boy, howdy. The humble makaf has attracted my attention. He is everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Just for the record. Approximately. We're not trying to get exact to the point. One verse contains 11 makafim. 4 verses contain 10 makafim. 5 verses contain 9 makafim. 17 verses contain 8 makafim. 40 verses contain 7 makafim. 99 verses contain 6 makafim. 246 verses contain 5 makafim. 522 verses contain 4 makafim. 886 verses contain 3 makafim. 1,386 verses contain 2 makafim. 1,622 verses contain 1 makafim. Disclaimer. Too much counting. I cannot certify the complete accuracy of the accounting concerning the amount of makafim. I hand counted the words in every verse of the Torah 3 times, over 70,000 plus words each time. The evidence is overwhelming, regardless of the degree of accuracy. I could have made mistakes for sure, but the evidence is overwhelming, regardless of the degree of accuracy. Okay, there goes the red flag. What is the purpose of a makaf? The makaf makes 2 or more words become 1 word. The newly compounded word probably was meant to be sounded in 1 breath. The author purposefully interacted with the text. Why? Now, when we're speaking about author, we're talking about the creator. We're not talking about inspired men. The initial word count of a verse has been altered to a new modified word count. Why? In 1 breath, please. The 2 words become 1 word. Al panei. The 3 words become 1 word. Et kol esev. 4 words become 1 word. Al kol davar pesa. And so on. The author purposefully interacted with the text. Why? Bereshit 1:11. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, herb yielding seed, and fruit tree yielding fruit after its kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so. Now in the Hebrew text, originally, there are 20 Hebrew words. But the text was modified 3 times by means of a makaf. Therefore, those 3 makafs affected 6 words. The 6 words became 3. So we started originally with 20 words, 3 modifications. The verse ends up with 17 final Hebrew words. This verse originally contained 23 Hebrew words. 20, according to the numerical structure of the Torah, is related to 10, a divine command, combined with 10, a test of a command. The 3 modifications relate to 3, an encounter with the Creator. The final Hebrew word count after the modifications is 17, and according to the numerical structure of the Torah, 17 relates to principle 10, a divine command, combined with principle 7, completion, cycle, or a cycle of repeated events. What is a Torah vessel? This is what I was talking about earlier. A vessel is a container. A Torah verse is likened to a merchant vessel traversing from the waters above, Hashemayim, which means far waters, through the waters of the firmament, Rakia, to the waters below, Yamim, seas. Each vessel contains a specific cargo of divine knowledge. The vessel's cargo is defined by its numerical formulation. The first vessel of the Torah is the foundation of the Torah. Genesis, Bereshit 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. This vessel contains 7 Hebrew words. No modifications were made to this vessel's cargo. According to the numerical structure of the Torah, 7 relates to a completion, cycle, or a cycle of repeated events. Does this numerical meaning properly relate to the vessel's message? I would say so. The summary of creation is a repeating cycle. The heavens continue, the earth continues, and yet they are complete in a unit. The second vessel of the Torah. Now, we can look at this vessel, being it is the second, or meaning the ordinal second verse of the Torah. It's going to be related to division, separation, or 2 aspects of a matter. So let's look at the verse. Genesis, Bereshit 1:2. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and a wind from God moved upon the face of the waters. Now, the subject matter of this vessel is the earth, and there were 2 aspects of it. It was without form and void. 2 aspects of the matter. This vessel contains an original cargo of 14 Hebrew words. This vessel's cargo was modified twice by means of 2 makafim. And here you are. 2 times the same words were modified by means of a makaf. You see the red hyphen. Al panei, meaning upon face. Now the vessel's cargo consists of only 12 Hebrew words. Originally 14, modified twice, now it's 12. According to the numerical structure of the Torah, 14 relates to a divine command combined with action on the part of the Creator or man. And in this case, it's action on the part of the Creator. 2, or second, relates to division, separation, or two aspects of a matter. And we discussed those. 12 relates to a divine command combined with division, separation, or two aspects of a matter. So it begins with the Creator addressing the subject of the earth as being without form and void, and then it moves on further to say what he did with the earth. He moved upon the face, and a wind from God moved. Or darkness was upon the face, and a wind from God moved upon the face. Does this numerical meaning properly relate to the vessel's message? I think so. The third vessel of the Torah. The third numerical principle is related to an encounter with the Creator. So we had the first verse as the foundation. The second verse gives us a division, separation, or two aspects of a matter. And now the third verse is an encounter with the Creator. So let's see what happens. Genesis, Bereshit 1:3. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. The encounter is God speaking. This vessel contains an original cargo of 6 Hebrew words. This vessel's cargo was modified twice by means of 2 makafim. And here they are, Yahi Or, Ve Yahi Or. He's saying, light be, and light was. Now the vessel's cargo consists of only 4 Hebrew words. According to the numerical structure of the Torah, 6 relates to mankind or human nature. 2, or second, relates to division, separation, or two aspects of a matter. 4 relates to action on the part of the Creator or man. Now you say, well, how would light be related to human nature or mankind? Well, if we learn to look at the Torah this way, we'll find that the connections follow this throughout the Torah. Light here is not the light from the sun. That did not appear until the 4th day. So we're looking at something entirely different. That means we need to look at light from a different perspective. Does this numerical meaning properly relate to the vessel's message? I think so. There are over 5,800 vessels in the Torah. No vessel of the Torah has a cargo of one Hebrew word. The largest vessel of the Torah has an initial cargo of 34 Hebrew words, Shemot or Exodus 32:1. The most modifications found in a Torah vessel are 11, Shemot or Exodus 22:8. The above are the results of tedious scientific observation. Every vessel of the Torah has been observed by this research. I'll bet you have some questions. How does one know the related meanings that are associated with the ordinal numbers? How can one be sure of the veracity of this numerical structure? What are the related meanings that are associated with the ordinal numbers? How will this benefit me if I don't know Hebrew? What is the big deal about a numerical structure embedded within the text, since we have the words before us? I'm sure you have more questions, but these are some that I thought that would surface first, and so we'll look at them. Now, concerning the first question, how does one come to know the related meanings that are associated with the ordinal numbers? Well, by recognizing it is a matter of pattern behavior. By observing what all the vessels which have a similar numerical cargo have in common. By determining whether this numerical structural or this numerical textual relationship can be defeated. How many times must a pattern of behavior be observed before one accepts its reality? You must ultimately choose your level of certainty. Now, concerning the second question, how can one be sure of the veracity of this numerical structure? If all the apples in a tree always fall downward and not upward, something must be going on. Perhaps there is a principle behind that behavior. Have you ever thought about how long the apples had been falling before Isaac Newton solidified this behavior into scientific thought? Prior to Newton, all men knew that apples fell from the trees. However, it is only after his keen scientific thought that men were able to have some insight into the why of the matter. Now, concerning the third question. What are the related meanings that are associated with the ordinal numbers? The numerical structure of the Torah is a repetitive numerical pattern which is based on 10 principles. 10 sayings of creation, Genesis 1. 10 commandments, 10 fingers, 10 toes are there to remind one wherever he goes. A coincidence? I think not. In the next slide, the divine pattern of the 10 principal meanings shall be viewed in a parallel format to match our fingers and toes. 5 on the right and 5 on the left. The divine pattern of 10 principles. Principle number 1, the Creator is the foundation of everything. Principle number 2, division, separation, or two aspects of a matter. Principle number 3, an encounter with the Creator. Principle number 4, action on the part of the Creator or man. 5, honor creators, a long life in the land. 6, related to mankind or human nature. 7, completion, cycle, or cycle of repeated events. 8, an exchange, good or bad. 9, a good matter, functioning according to the divine plan. 10, a divine command, covenant, oath, or a test of a command or covenant. Now concerning the fourth question. How will this benefit me if I don't know Hebrew? You will be personally guided through the Torah by your Father, the Creator. You will crave to learn from your Father's Hebrew. You say, how would that be? Well, we've been learning from man's perspective. When you begin to see things from our Father's perspective, they just come alive within you. It's something you just stick with it a little bit and you'll find out. You will intimately know your Father, the Creator, as your third parent. This is a big feature. You will be empowered. The numerical structure of the Torah is one of the most powerful motivators available to build faithfulness, emunah. Why and how? Because you will desire the relationship with your Father more than anything else. And your Father will show you how to pleasurably master the evil inclination. I'm not exaggerating in this. I've experienced this part. You will be learning Hebrew while you're studying Torah, and I will show you how to get started. Five easy first steps. Learning is fun. Learn the Hebrew alphabet. Learn how to use an interlinear Hebrew Bible. Learn how to recognize compound Hebrew words which are joined with makafim. It's really just simply being able to spot a hyphen. These are tremendous skills in learning, but they are not hard skills to master linguistically. Learn how to count Hebrew words. And listen to your Father's voice. Put some tools in your toolbox. If you don't have one, purchase a Hebrew interlinear Bible which displays the Makafim. Optional, Bible Scholar software. This will help you in an advanced search to be able to study and investigate on your own. You wouldn't be relying on what others present to you or having to hand look each verse up. So if you want to move on, this is really an important piece of software to put in your toolbox. Word by word is a translation which will help you in sounding, pronouncing, and recognizing what the words mean, and this is actually a very good software. Bible Hub, free online. This is awesome. I mean, this is interlinear, has a lot there for you. Okay? Frequently visit our YouTube channel, Torah123, and our website, avpublications.com, for more inspiring videos and articles related to the numerical structure of the Torah. And Lord willing, I'm going to do my best to make as many videos and articles and things available that one can see how to do this on their own. Now concerning the fifth question. What is the big deal about a numerical structure embedded within the text since we have the words before us? Today we are troubled by half-truths. The Torah has two contexts. The numerical structure supports the embellishments. The embellishments do not support the numerical structure. The structure came before the embellishments. We've got to get that clear in our mind. The structure lies under everything. It supports it all. It was the beginning. To recognize and respect only one of those contexts is to walk in the path of the half-truths. To ignore the two aspects of the Torah's context might be a matter of Torah rejection. Perhaps it is a matter of respect. In case you were wondering, there is much, much more to the numerical structure. We have merely glimpsed at the magnitude of the numerical structure of the Torah. My avenue of entry was through the portal of the Hebrew consonants, and not the path that I presented herein. I have written numerous pages recording the most marvelous adventure of my life, learning my father's Hebrew from the numerical structure. Shalom. Thank you for coming aboard. Be safe. Consider where your next train is going. Come aboard again if you can. You are surely welcome. Please visit our YouTube channel, Torah123, and our website, wove.publications.com, for more inspiring articles related to the numerical structure of the. Before you leave, if you would like to see more videos related to the numerical structure of the Torah, please tell your friends and family about our YouTube channel, Torah123, and our website, wove.publications.com. Subscribe to our channel. Ring the bell. Most of all, share what you have learned, because that not only helps other people, it helps solidify your thoughts. Please join us on our next journey down the path of understanding concerning the numerical structure of the Torah. Also, please visit wove.publications.com and Torah123 for more informative articles related to the numerical structure of the Torah. Shalom. Teaching timeless Torah truths that are innovative, informative, and imperative. Torah 123, Wove Publications.